did it. We scored first. We had excellent goaltending. We lost the 3-1 to the Vegas Golden Knights. One was an empty netter. And once again, no points as we were becoming used to this season. It wasn't really that bad of a game. I felt like overall the team played decently. Vegas definitely played better, but we had our chances. They had theirs. We had a goalie that actually kept us in it. That's the NHL for you. Sometimes you are going to be outplayed, but you have an actual NHL caliber goalie that is going to actually keep it interesting for most of the game and give you a chance to win. And that's kind of what this game was. This season, Devils fans maybe aren't too used to that, thinking if you don't absolutely blow the top of the other team, outskate them into the ground, outscore them 1,000,000 to 2, you're not going to win the game. And that's kind of what we've come accustomed to with the goaltending this season. But Jake Allen actually made this one pretty close. The first goal against him, no issues. He only had 2 scored against him. You're not really going to have problems with either of these. But the first one's a shot that's going wide and deflects basically off of a 6-foot something's guy's shoulder and then goes right into the net. Not going to. Most guys are not saving that, if anyone. From the way that shot came, from where it deflected off the guy and where it deflected into the net. Yeah, good luck. The second one, maybe a bit more savable on instant analysis. I thought it went in clean. On replay, it does look like it possibly deflected a little bit, so I'll give Jake a little bit of a break there on that one, but it still wasn't the worst. But, guy comes right down the middle, there's no screen, is a slight deflection though, and it was a pretty wicked shot, but the deflection is really what was the difference maker there. But I don't know. At first look, I don't think it was a deflection, but it was close. It did seem to change direction there going through the 2 Devil sticks, so... But that was it. We had the 1 goal off of a great play off of our top line with Nico, Bratt, and Jack. Nico finishes at 5-hole off of a nice rebound and puck recovery. And that was essentially the game. We had our chances with the goalie pulled, weren't able to succeed, and they get the empty netter. For the run of play, I felt like, Vegas definitely had the better of it, but there was no absolute boneheaded glaring issue. It was more so just kind of small little things, winning small battles. But we had chances, ones that didn't even hit net, lots of deflections, lots of blocked shots. So I think the shot counter maybe was slightly deceptive in this one, not entirely. Again, Vegas was the better team in this one, but I don't know, there's not too much else to say here down the stretch as we're losing. Playoff hopes are getting slimmer and slimmer. Or actually, if you want to look at any sort of positive of losing this one, if your team tanked, I do believe we increased our lottery odds with this loss. Now, with the 8th best odds to win first overall, I know a lot of us thought we were completely out of those discussions and weren't going to be Edmonton East, but it's one of those seasons where we could absolutely win first overall again, or we could make a miracle run to the playoffs. Both are still absolutely options in this one. Is one more likely than the other? Yeah, I would actually say playoffs are probably more likely than winning the first overall just based on lotto odds, but they're both options at this point. So we actually have a bit of a homestand, a tougher matchup, but some easier ones as well. The scheduling on this one, I think, might have been the deciding factor. We played yesterday, having to travel out to Arizona, playing a 5 o'clock, well, it was 2 o'clock local time game, to then have to fly over to Vegas. Yeah, it's not a crazy travel or anything, but still, got to board a plane, get off the plane, bus in, yada yada, all that good stuff, for a 12:30 start in Vegas. So, from the time we talked about this in the Arizona recap, that by the time the Arizona game ended, you're looking at a 18-hour turnaround, something like that, whatever it was. Game ended at 7:30, and then we started at 12:30. So yeah, 17-hour turnaround, 18-hour turnaround. That is with the insanely delayed puck drop because of the TNT coverage, it was a little bit extra, I guess. But yeah, Jake played great. I'm going to assume he's going to get every start that's not a back-to-back for the remainder of this season if he keeps playing like this, which I hope he does. I picked him up in fantasy because I had Markstrom and Demko, who might be rested for the remainder of the regular season, or through at least most of fantasy playoffs. So that is unfortunate for me. Yeah, don't know how I'm gonna recoup that for the playoff runs, but well, it's not your guys' fault. That's mine. Maybe you want to see a little bit more from Jack. He had his typical, some really good plays, some really nice setups. Just Jack makes offense out of nothing. Some giveaways as well, but when you have the puck as much as Jack does, that's going to happen. I thought Timo also had a fairly strong game, but he's not working with, the highest skilled guys. I really would say these past couples, why the points aren't there. He's setting some up. He is driving play. He's doing all the right stuff. At this point, I mean, I know the Nico line did score, but you knock one guy off of that line there and put him with Timo, just to have two true top flight, or not top flight with the injuries and moving off with the Foley and all that, but true at least dangerous lines, as opposed to one super dangerous line. I mean, no doubt when the Nico line's out there, it basically runs the ice, not entirely, as they have been scored on while out there as well, but for the most part, they definitely run the ice on average for them. So, yeah, I don't know. With the bottom six, obviously, again, you can't count on your depth scoring like they did in Dallas. You need some of that top six scoring. And when we do get one from the top line, and, Timo's not going to, score at over point per game, that he's not done that for his career. There is going to be a bit of hot streaks and then, downturns as well. You need a bit more spread out scoring, and Holtz it's not coming from Holtz right now. It's not coming from Mercer. Haula, again, those guys are scoring, it seems like, once in a blue moon at this point. So when it's not your top guys putting up 2 point per game, Nico and Timo have carried a heavy weight in the, I don't know, weeks now. Weeks it feels like, of those two being the majority of the scoring, with Jack and Bratt helping facilitate a lot of that as well. And then the occasional little pitching from the rest of the team. So, yeah, there's no, consistent offense coming from the back end. I know it's, really young. We did get Marino back in this game. I thought he played fine. Yeah, Jake Allen really made this game a lot closer than it should have been, for sure. But it was winnable. It was right there. We had the first goal. We did have the called back goal, but that was goaltender interference. Timo made contact in the blue paint. It actually was probably a little bit closer than the announcers were making that sound, but there was contact in blue paint, and that's all that matters. So, unfortunate. That's how it played out. Yeah, I don't think there's really too much else. It's just we got to play out these games and see, can we actually string together 2 or 3 wins. You do that with a couple other teams losing a couple in a row, and who knows? Or you lose a bunch in a row while some other teams win some in a row, and now we're like top 5 in picks, which is insane. insane. So that's it. I don't think I got anything else. Day off, back at it. Or I think we got Tuesday, then off Wednesday, then back Thursday, off Friday, and back at it Saturday. 3 games. We win all 3 here at home, which hasn't even been our best. But if we do it, who knows? But I'll be watching all of them, be reacting to all of them, as I've been doing all season. So as always, and forever, let's go Devils.